Hi, Steve here. Thanks for visiting us on this page here on the Prudent Place Lay Profit. What is it exactly? It's a nifty little bit of software that comes up with selections daily. In fact, over the last just under 13 months it's come up with 1,600 selections, and it's done in a format that can be easily put into BetEngine if you're using BetEngine. You don't need to use BetEngine, you can put the bets in manually. Obviously, with BetEngine, it does have some advantages in when you can put the money on, and you can set it obviously for odds that you don't want to accept. But without further ado, let's have a look at Prudent Place Lay Profit. Those of you who know me and been with me for over the last 13 or 14 years will know that I'm a great one for selling on results, and really at the end of the day, results is what has to be banked. You can jump up and down, beat a drum, but without results it's pretty hard to make a case for a lot of things. Here is just under 13 months of results. These are of the 1,600 bets that the Prudent Place Lay Profits has produced. We can see a very slow start in October last year, and then in November kicking through to give us 203 points profit for the 13 months. Now that is a 12.6% return on risk. What we're talking about here is this is liability staking for $1. I know people say you can't do $1 on Betfair, but this is just to give you an indication, and I can show you some other figures a little bit later. But what we're showing here is how just risking $1 or £1 per bet has taken us right through to the end of October this year to 203 points profit. Now with liability staking, if you look above, there's a tab there for about staking, there's a tab for results. All that is up there, but liability staking basically is saying you put a lay on and you are laying it for $1, £1, €1. If the horse is successful and you lose your bet, all you lose is the £1. And I know in laying a lot of people jumped in early and got burnt on laying, but with liability staking it's a way of controlling what your exposure is to the market. Okay, so you can see there it's quite healthy. What does that mean? That's alright for £1, but we know we can't bet £1, so what does that really mean? Basically it means this: if you were to have a liability bet of £2 only for every selection that this is made over the 13 months, it's a £406 return. Now based on the figures, it takes less than 4 minutes a day to run the software, get the results, upload the spreadsheet into BetEngine, or even if you're doing it manually it wouldn't take you much longer. Some days it would take you a lot less. So on 4 minutes a day over the 13 months, it works out at 26 hours that you would have spent over that 13 months. And what we're saying, if you're a £2 bettor, you would have made £15 an hour, which is not a bad rate. But if you were to use £10, for example, liability per bet, you would have made £2,030. So equates to £78 an hour. Now that's not too bad when you consider for most people that would be a tax-free income. So that's on liability staking. If you were to look at just normal staking, so you were going to put a normal stake of £1 or £2, let's have a look at that. We can see here that it didn't do so well. It made 131 points over that period of the 13 months. And also it risked a lot more money. So that is why we advocate using the liability staking rather than level staking. As we showed you above, liability staking gave you 12.6% return on risk. So for every pound you risked, you made 12p60, whereas with level staking, for every pound you risked, you made 6p63. So it's not as profitable to use level staking as it is to use liability staking. And this is why we recommend BetEngine, because if you're using a liability staking and you go and you want to put your liability in against, say, the Betfair SP price, you have to take a £10 minimum bet, or if you're in Australia you have to take a $30 minimum bet. With BetEngine you can bet say 20 seconds before the off, and you can bet £2 liability, £4 liability, or what you want to do using BetEngine. Okay, and if we just look down here at level staking, just like we said before, if you're a £2 bettor there, 262 return, not as good as up there where we made 406, and a £10 bettor is 1300 as opposed to 2000. So £50 an hour as opposed to 78 in the example up above. All these figures here are on the results tab above. So if you click on the results tab, you'll see all these figures here, plus you'll see every individual month. If we just go down, I just scroll down, that's the last 3 months of last year. The red line is the profit growth, and if we go down, that's for the 10 months this year. You can see once again profit growth there. But what you can see in the results tab up there, you can see every month. So you can see the red ones are obviously losing days. So you can work out, if you want some sort of staking plan, you can work that out. All of our figures are level stake or level liability, and all have 5% Betfair commission taken out of them. Okay, we've seen what results can be achieved with the Prudent Place today. Let's have a look at just what it is exactly. Here's the little software here. It's Windows based, so you need to have a Windows computer. Basically, push the scan button, and what it does, it updates from about 5:30 AM UK time. This is long before that, so it's still got yesterday's selections up, but it'll give you an idea. So all you need to do is push the scan button. It scans through like this, looking for races. Doesn't take long to scan. My computer's quite slow. Internet here is very slow. Okay, it's come up here with one selection, and that's all we're going to have for today. We've got the one selection here. Okay, so that's as far as the software done. It's done its job. It's gone through the cards and searched for the horses that conform to the criteria that we use for the Prudent Place Lay profit. Now all we need to do is, we've got the choice here. We've got the BetEngine button down here. If we click on this, it will save it in a CSV format without the points here, because we can't load a CSV with points and all that. This is the only information BetEngine needs. So we can either click that one if we want to, or we can click this one. Let's just click the BetEngine one, and all I need to do then is to put in the, I've already saved these because I bet this yesterday. Okay, so we just save it like that, and what we're left with, what comes up with, is this here. This is the CSV file that we need to load into BetEngine. So all we do is we close this off. It'll ask us to save it again. Save it. Keep in that format. Now you must always keep them closed. You must always have your CSV files closed when you go to put them into BetEngine or anything like that. So then we bring up our BetEngine. As I said, you don't need to use BetEngine, but if you've got it or you want to use it, it's quite a valuable way to bet your selections, because you have so many choices. You can set the odds here if you want it. We just have them set. We don't restrict our odds. But you could go down here and reduction factor. You might want to put in 35. So if one of the other horses is scratched and it's got a reduction factor of 35, it won't place the bet. So you've got all those options if you're using BetEngine. Also on a big race day, I mean, one day I think last in the busy season in the turf we had 28 selections. Well, if you were to go and put them on Betfair SP and liability, and you're in the UK, that would take up £280 of your money. But by using them here in BetEngine, we could set it like I have mine set for 20 seconds before the off. So it would only be taking £10 out 20 seconds before each race. So you're not exposed to all that money being out there. Anyway, back to where we are. We just push the load selections, and then it gives us the option there to come up to wherever we've saved our selections. You can see that's where we saved ours there. You just click on that and click open, and that's how you get the selections into BetEngine. Okay, this won't load because obviously the races have already been run, but that's all you need to do. And after you've done that, you click to active and away you go, and then we're in business. Okay, so that's how you use the Prudent place lay. As I said, you can go in and place them manually on Betfair. It's totally up to you. Just back at the software, if we were to push the save button, we'll push the save button now, and I'll put save. You can see now it's actually come up with this extra column here, which is the rating. Now you can't just put this straight into BetEngine because it doesn't like this column. You'd have to just delete that column. So by having that extra tab here, it just means you don't have to worry about deleting it. So that's what that's for. So it's quite simple, straightforward to use, showing some excellent profits. Go up above and check the tabs out for the results. As I said, every month of every day is there for you to have a look at. And we have got an early bird offer on this software at the moment, so I hope you find it useful. It does the UK and Ireland racing, okay, and it does flat, jumps and all weather. Okay, thanks for watching it. This is Steve signing off, and I hope you enjoyed this video and see some merit in the software. Thanks again.